Hey guys, I want to take a look at Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher from Georgia. He is a fringe first-round pick in the eyes of many, including myself. He stands at 6'3", which is a bit undersized for the position as an edge rusher, but he possesses long arms which oftentimes make up for his lack of size. In my eyes, I see him at his best as a 3-4 outside linebacker who's primarily used as a pass rusher. Although he has played from both a 2-point and a 3-point stance, I think he'll be best in the upright 2-point stance. He's an explosive athlete who is able to translate that athleticism to the football field. He plays with high energy and effort as well. He has excellent hands and he strikes quickly with power, and his strikes are well timed. He also uses a variety of pass rushing moves to generate pressure. As a run defender, he crashes the end of the line of scrimmage really well. Although, I would like to see him be more aggressive in making the play after he contains the end of the line. In addition to that, there are plays where he is responsible for outside contain, and he lets the play get outside of him, resulting in a big gain for the offense. When he operates as a backside run defender, he closes ground very well. I do, however, have a few concerns about his game. He plays the game upright, which gives offensive linemen a larger surface area to punch, and at times, his get off of the line of scrimmage will carry him upfield too far, which will essentially wash him out of the play. A few more concerns that I have is that he needs to work on his technique and refinement as a pass rusher. He specifically needs to develop in terms of counters when offensive linemen have him beat. Now, when I talk about his lack of counters, it's not because he doesn't have the ability to do it. He's athletic and he has the potential to do it. He just doesn't utilize them in the college games right now. One of my final concerns with Azeez Ojulari is that he lacks a heavy anchor to hold his ground against offensive linemen who are bigger than him. Okay, so now I want to get into the film. So, the first thing that I want to show you about Azeez Ojulari is I want to show you what he does very, very well. So, on this play, what you're going to see is you're going to see him long arm the offensive lineman, and then he's going to swipe that outside hand, dip his shoulder, and get pressure on that quarterback, and he's going to end up causing a fumble. So right here, he's going to explode off the line of scrimmage. And at this point, he's going to use his inside hand to punch the offensive lineman in his chest plate. What he's doing is he's using his long arms to create separation from the offensive lineman so that he can go into his next move, where he will use his outside hand to swipe the offensive lineman's outside hand to create an open lane to the quarterback. At this point, Azeez has his man beat, and now he's going to get flat and sack the quarterback, and it's going to result in a fumble. So now that we know how he won, I want to show you this play from another angle so you can better understand exactly what's going on here. So here we go. He's going to explode off that line, and he's going to strike that offensive lineman right in his chest plate. Why he's doing that is because he's going to use that long arm to create that separation, like I mentioned. This allows him to keep that offensive lineman's hands off of him so that he can't redirect Azeez anywhere he wants. The second part of this rush move is to slap. Azeez is going to use his outside hand to slap the outside arm of the offensive lineman so he can't get a hold on Azeez and recover. The final part of this rush, we're going to see Azeez drop his shoulder, get flat to the quarterback, and get a strip sack, resulting in a fumble. When watching Azeez Ojulari, it is clear this is his go-to pass rush move, and rightfully so. He produces a lot of his pressures and sacks off this move alone. For that reason, I want to go ahead and show you a couple more instances where this worked out well for him. So this is going to be the final play in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Once again, Azeez is going to explode off the line of scrimmage. He's going to strike that offensive lineman in the chest plate with his inside arm. And then he's going to use that outside arm. He's going to slap that offensive lineman's outside arm, get flat to the quarterback, get a sack, and end the game. Once again, we're going to see the same move, this time against Alex Leatherwood in the Alabama-Georgia game. So like I said, same play here. He gets off the line of scrimmage, but this time we're going to see him use both of his hands to get a nice strike on Alex Leatherwood's chest plate. Then he's going to bench press him to create separation and swipe with his outside hand to disengage. Then he gets flat to the quarterback. He doesn't get a sack here, but he does force enough pressure on Mac Jones that forces him to throw the ball away, which results in an incompletion. The primary reason why Azeez Ojulari is so good with this move is because of his arm length. He's able to create that separation, and then he's able to disengage and get to the quarterback. But his length helps him in other aspects of the game as well, including batted passes, which I'll get to next. On this play, what we're going to see is we're going to see Azeez Ojulari versus Alex Leatherwood once again. On this play, Azeez is going to use his arm length to keep Alex Leatherwood at bay. Alex Leatherwood is not going to be able to get his hands into Azeez's chest plate. What's going to happen is Azeez is going to notice that the ball is going to be going right over his head. He stops, gets his hands up, and uses that length to get a pass deflection on this play. Moving on, at the next level, Azeez Ojulari as an outside linebacker is going to have to be able to drop into coverage at times as well, which is something that I found in his film that he's able to do. He's able to cover the flat, and he's able to operate over the middle on short routes. In addition to that, he's also demonstrated a pretty good ability to find and locate the ball, as well as to dislodge it from the receiver. One aspect of his game that I came away impressed by was his coverage in the flat. He's adequate in coverage, but against a running quarterback, he has exceptional timing when it came to leaving his man to tackle the ball carrier, which I will show you in a couple plays now. On this play, you're going to see Azeez Ojulari in coverage at the top of your screen. He's going to cover, and then the last second, he's going to leave his man to go make a play on Desmond Ryder, who's reaching for the first down. But he leaves a great time where he doesn't leave too early to allow Desmond Ryder to dump it off for an easy first down, but he doesn't leave too late where Desmond Ryder can easily just rush for the first as well. Moving on to Ojulari as a run defender, he does several things very well, but there are a lot of things he still needs to improve on. First and foremost, what I want to show you is that he sets the end of the line of scrimmage really well. He'll lower his shoulder, initiate contact, and close off the end of the line of scrimmage, sending running backs back towards the middle like you want him to do. So, Alabama's going to pull their right guard, who I have with the black arrow, and their wing tight end, who has the red arrow. The right guard is responsible for Azeez Ojulari, and the tight end is responsible for a second-level defender. In this case, it's going to be a linebacker. On this play, though, we're going to focus on Azeez Ojulari. What Alabama wants him to do is that when the ball gets snapped, they want him to explode upfield, cover ground, and then when that guard comes, they want him to blindside him and get him completely out of the play. However, what ends up happening is Azeez is going to play this perfectly, and he's going to crash that end of the line of scrimmage, and he's going to keep his hands on Alex Leatherwood so that he can maintain outside leverage so that if Najee Harris turns it to the sideline, he can make a play on the ball carrier. When Najee Harris gets the ball here, he's going to look to try to shoot that gap between the center and the left guard. However, it's filled. Now, after that, he's going to look to bounce it to the outside to the left, but he's going to see that Azeez Ojulari has that outside leverage on Alex Leatherwood and that he would make a play in the backfield. So, it forces Najee Harris to cut it all the way back to the other side of the field. This play results in a loss or no gain. There's a lot that goes into it, but this play all starts with Azeez Ojulari. He didn't get upfield and allow himself to be taken out of the play. He sealed the end of the line of scrimmage and forced a cutback. He didn't explode upfield, and had he not had the awareness he demonstrated on this play could have gone for a big gain. There are more instances in his film that I wanted to point this out. This one against Alabama again, he's going to take on the puller. It's a pass play, but once again, he's resetting that line of scrimmage there. He's not getting eaten up. Alright, and one last time, here it is again. He's going to take on that block, he's going to initiate contact, and he's going to force everything back inside where he knows that he has help. But now I want to talk about the issues that he has in this regard. As I mentioned, yes, he crashes the end of the line of scrimmage, and he's there, and he maintains outside contain. But the issue is once he's there, he doesn't make plays on the ball. He's in a position to contain the outside, but he doesn't actually do it. He gets beat to the outside on multiple occasions by both running backs and running quarterbacks. And I'm going to get to that right now on this play. So, if you watch here, Azeez Ojulari is at the top of the line there. There's going to be an option. The quarterback can either hand it off to the running back or he can keep it and bust to the outside. The quarterback is actually going to test Azeez Ojulari's outside contain. And on this play, Azeez has outside contain, but he doesn't actually make the play. He gets beat by Desmond Ryder here. Okay, so now we're going to watch this play one more time. When I pause it here, he's in good outside contained position. He needs to locate the ball right here, right now. When I play it, however, watch him continue to squeeze the line of scrimmage and take himself out of position. He didn't locate the ball, and he lets Desmond Ryder break outside contain and pick up a first down. The next play is almost the exact same concept. There's going to be a quarterback option, and Azeez is going to crash the line of scrimmage well. But he doesn't locate the ball once again, and after Desmond Ryder doesn't give the ball to the running back, Ojulari continues to crash the line of scrimmage and take himself out of the play. This is going to result in another first down for the quarterback Desmond Ryder. This is an issue that I've seen on his account multiple times, and it's something that he's going to have to get corrected going into the next level, as there are quarterbacks that are going to take advantage of his deficiency in this category. Another issue I have with his game is his lack of counters. On this play, I would have liked to see him get upfield more and have that offensive lineman turn his hips. At that point, I would have liked to see him use a spin move to create pressure on the quarterback. He needs a more well-rounded pass rush attack, as he never utilizes inside spins or other counters. He simply uses a pass rush attempt, and he continues to use it even if it fails time and time again. This next play is going to demonstrate another area of concern that I have with his game. On this play, what you're going to see is him take an outside route to get to the quarterback. What's going to end up happening is he's going to go too far upfield, and he's going to end up running himself out of the play here. The final point I want to make goes back to his deficiency as a run defender. Ojulari needs to improve in this regard. Too often is he washed out as a run defender or blocked by a tight end. In conclusion, there's a lot Azeez Ojulari does really well, but there's a lot of things that he needs to work on. day one, he's going to be a rotational 3-4 outside pass rusher, but he's going to develop into an every down player. He has great hands, great athleticism, and he's going to use those traits to become a great pass rusher at the next level. At this point, however, consistency in run defense is the only thing holding him back from being really good right now, which I believe that is something that he can work on and develop. If he can work on that part of his game, I think that there's nothing stopping him from being a big force in the next level. I think he'd be a perfect fit with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the next level as a Bud Dupree replacement. But that's just what I think. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So give us any questions, comments, or concerns. I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.